Hello and welcome to Be Frank. Of course, I'm your host Jack Franks, and tonight's show is set to be the best one yet. We have an exclusive interview with breakout star Paul Pigott, where he'll be sitting down to discuss his filming career and his new independent film, The Disappearance. But first, Adele has been the hot topic of gossip around the world. Recently, she released her new album 30, and like always, the songs are charting worldwide. As with all Adele albums, this one comes from a place of heartbreak. Adele recently claimed in an interview that this album would help explain her divorce to her son. I wish my parents had done something like this for me when I was a kid, with tracks like On the Bright Side, You'll Get 2 Christmases Now, and of course, Don't Blame Yourself, It's Not Your Fault entirely. Although elsewhere, Kanye recently stopped mid-performance to beg for Kim Kardashian back. But as we all know, she has swiftly moved on to date SNL comedian Pete Davidson. How this man has managed to bag Kim Kardashian, Ariana Grande, and possibly even Miley Cyrus, yet I can't even get a single date to call back, I'll never know. Well, that's all we have in terms of the news, so let's get on with the show. Today's guest is Paul, here to promote his new movie, The Disappearance. Please join me in welcoming him to the show. Hi,
Hello.
thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
So, your new film, The Disappearance,
Yes.
is a new movie that will be coming out soon.
Yes.
Can you tell me a bit about it?
Right, so
viewers?
it's a horror thriller action film. So it's basically, it's two best friends. One of the girls goes missing and the other one obviously contacts the police.
Yeah.
They think it's just normal kidnapping, just a random kidnapping, but turns out it's not quite the case. Maybe it's the friend, maybe she's just lying to the police, maybe it's someone close to them. We don't know. I'm just trying to add extra twists on it to try and make it a bit more interesting.
Sounds like there will be a lot of plot twists and
Oh,
maybe even a
absolutely,
cliffhanger, we'll see.
Well, maybe.
But what are your main inspirations for this movie then?
To be fair, there's not really one I can really be specific on. There's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of, I've tried to mix lots of genre elements involved as well, but
Yeah.
I'd say your main ones are like Scream, and your main like horror films are really influencing it, and action films as well, like James Bond. There's a bit of action in it as well, so yeah.
It's always good when you have, you know, different inspirations to draw
Definitely,
from,
yeah,
especially when it comes to horror, because there's always based on true stories,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
it, yeah.
nice. What would you do in that kind of situation? You know, would you do what the main characters did? How would you feel?
It's very difficult because you kind of, every time I watch a horror film, you kind of shout at the screen and think, why would you do
Yes.
that? Why aren't you doing this? But
Exactly.
when you're in that moment, you just don't know because you're panicking.
Right.
When you're under pressure, you react differently. But obviously, you find the police, that's the first thing you do.
Of
And
course.
just try and stay cool. But I
Yes.
don't really know, to be honest. I've never been in that situation.
Of course,
horrible.
but obviously we'll see in the movie what
Yes,
happens.
yeah.
And it's actually backed by Netflix, which is really interesting.
yeah.
It sounds like that must have been difficult.
Oh, the worst thing I've ever done in my life, the worst stress in my life. Honestly, like it's Netflix, so it's basically impossible
Hard
to
to
get in
get
there.
into,
The
yeah.
emails, I've sent about 1,000 emails or more to get there. Phone calls, too many phone calls. I got there eventually. It took a good year or more, but I got there in the end. Very lucky, pitched my idea,
Nice.
and luckily they liked it. Yeah.
That's good. Well, we actually have an exclusive
Yes,
that
we do,
we can
yeah.
show, so I think we should
Go
take a
ahead.
look so the audience can see.
Thank you.
We followed.
No, of course not. I know what I'm doing.
Right, we need to get our story straight, okay? When did you last see her?
Friday, the concert was on Friday.
You need to be sure about this, okay? We can't slip up, neither of us.
Okay, she went off somewhere. Backstage, she said she needed to use the loo, but she said she'd be right back.
So you were at a concert. What? Seen what?
Taylor Swift.
Okay. So how long was she gone for, really?
It couldn't have been any more than 10 minutes.
We need to be sure. How long? You need to remember.
Christ, maybe it was just one song, maybe 4 minutes.
Did she mention speaking to anyone? Or seeing anyone who would have seen that you two were together?
I mean, there was this guy, but he was just flirting with her. He seemed interested, just like 100 other guys.
What did he look like?
So I don't remember. I didn't get a good look.
Come on! Something! Just remember something about a beard, hair colour, anything.
He had black hair, slick back, a leather vest, but that's really all I can remember.
That's a start. Anything else? Literally anything.
Sharina, I really don't feel safe. Can we please leave?
Yeah, something feels alright. Let's go back to mine.
Well, that was great. Even the trailer ends on a cliffhanger, so it will be really interesting for everyone to watch. And actually, you have some pretty big stars in this movie. How was it
We
working
do.
with them?
Oh, it's even more surreal than just working for Netflix, to be honest,
Yeah.
because these are the sort of people you've grown up with. Like, you just see them on TV all the
Yeah.
time, and Hollywood stars just walk past you. It's your movie, and they're walking past you like,
Yeah.
Paul, what do I do? What do you want me
Wow.
to do? And it's like, am I telling you what to do? It
course.
just doesn't make sense. It's so surreal. It's
I
like a
bet it's
dream.
really nice, and obviously
Yeah.
it's going to create a big hype around this
Def-
movie, which is
definitely,
nice.
yeah,
How
which is
do you
nice.
think it's going to be received?
It's really hard to tell. I'm not the sort of person to want to really predict too much in
Yeah.
the future. It's not going to be a 10 out of 10 movie, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know, I want to improve. Everything
Yeah.
can be improved. I want to make myself better, but it's got horror, action, thriller, and
Yeah.
I've tried to add extra twists to it. And yeah, I think people are really going to like it. Yeah.
That would be good. I mean, it's your first movie, so
Yes,
obviously everything can improve. But
Absolutely.
we will see when it comes out,
Yeah.
which is when actually. When is it coming out?
It's going to be the beginning of March, so I think about 1st of March it'll be coming out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully everyone marks that in their calendars.
Yeah, definitely.
So they can check it out on Netflix. What other genres could you see yourself working in, if not, horror?
Yeah,
and
I'll
thrillers?
tell you what. I want to go at a bit of everything, to be honest, and really
Yeah.
challenge myself. Comedy, as a writer, that's really difficult to write. Getting that right is like you get it right 10% less of the time. But my main one is sci-fi action. I love
Ah, yeah.
description. You can really get descriptive with sci-fi, and if I've got Netflix on my side, you've
Yeah.
got the budget for it as well.
Nice,
So
of
that
course,
would be
yeah.
really cool.
So it sounds like you love sci-fi a lot. Do you have a
Yes.
favorite movie at
Oh,
all?
Definitely, it's got to be Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. It's got the
Nice.
emotion. It's epic.
Yeah.
It's got everything you could really want from a movie for me. Yeah.
Like I said before, it's good to have a lot of inspirations
definitely.
because you can pull that in for different movies and
Yeah,
different elements,
yeah.
which is great. Would you ever consider acting if you had the opportunity?
It's not. It's a difficult one. I mean, it's not at the top of my. I've actually acted before,
Yeah.
to be honest. I've done it for stage. So it's very different. A lot longer. Probably more exhausting. Probably behind. I've been behind camera, so I know what
Yeah.
it's like. It's a long shoot. But I'll give it a go. I mean, I love to act, and
Nice.
yeah, definitely.
And what is your dream? Where do you hope to take your film making and sort of writing?
Obviously, I want to be Netflix. We're already there. Hollywood. Hollywood's
Yes.
definitely a place to go. Obviously, UK, Britain, BBC. Want to get into perhaps the BBC,
Yeah.
but I don't know because obviously things are going more streaming services these days. So
Yeah,
maybe that's not the
exactly.
best option. So we'll just see where the path takes me really.
And do you have any other up-and-coming projects that you can mention?
Not that I can go into too much detail
Yeah.
with, but I'm working on a monologue at the moment. So it's a
Nice.
short monologue piece, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Trying to keep that interesting from a narrative perspective is really hard because obviously it's
Yeah.
one person talking. You've got to try and keep it really. It's visually
Yeah.
is the most important thing. But yeah, that's coming up. Then hopefully Netflix will take it on. We'll
Nice.
see.
Well,
We'll
that's
see.
great, and hopefully you'll come
Yeah.
back on here to promote
Oh,
that in the
absolutely,
future. But
yeah.
thank you so much for joining
Oh,
us,
you're very welcome.
and I think we're going to cut to a break, so we'll see you after then.
Have you been injured in an accident that was your fault? Have you been injured in your place of work or place of business? You could be owed up to £18,000 in compensation. Call us today and we'll ensure you receive the payment you're owed. Call now 0721 49 9982 or visit our website.
This is no normal dream. Something extraordinary. Something with flavor. Something that would blow your mind. Something so hard to let go of. Something so tasty it makes your mouth water just thinking about it. A drink so good, it's got all the nutrients you need. And blow. Come on down and try some Slum, packed with all the nutrients you'll ever want and need in one drink. You like oranges? How about more? This drink is 5 times more orangey than the orangest orange drink you can drink. Slum, drink some now.
Hello and welcome back to Be Frank, and may I introduce you our next guest, Jake Cook. Hi, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having
So you're a part of a rock band called Undamaged Destiny, so tell me all about it.
Yes, so we are Undamaged Destiny. We were formed way back in 2019
Yeah.
as part of a mockumentary college project.
Ah, okay.
So basically we wanted to parody the film This Is Spinal Tap. So we formed a satirical band, and the film we made documented our formation, all our rehearsal sessions, and then our first performance, which was in front of students at the college.
That sounds really nice, and it sounds like you're taking it more seriously now, because I heard you're bringing out an album, and some of your songs they're charting, so that's really good news. We actually have a clip to show, so I think we should, show the audience a bit about your band and your music, what kind of music you play. So I think we should take a look at that now.
You ready to fucking rock?
Well, that was great. It sounds like, your music has a lot of grunge and rock influences. So can you tell me, what are your main inspirations?
So between the four of us, there's a lot of inspirations coming from a lot of different places.
Yeah.
But our main inspirations mainly come from kind of 90s grunge music.
Yeah.
So bands like Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots.
Nice.
Those are our main ones.
Great. And, what is your place in the group as well, actually?
So I personally am the bass player, which is arguably the most forgotten member, but pretty important.
Yeah. And what is your dream, with your band, and where do you hope to take it in the future?
So in the future, we hope to just kind of get our music as widespread as possible, really. We love playing live, we love kind of seeing new people, and we just kind of want to make people happy.
Nice. It sounds like you have a real passion for music, which is important, because a lot of artists are, out there for the fame, but that's not always the most important. Where can people find your music? Like, what streaming services are you on?
So we're on everywhere, pretty much. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Pretty much anywhere you listen to music, you can find us.
Nice. And speaking of, your music and where you can find it, I hear that you're going to have an album soon. What's going on with that?
So over the last year or so, we've been doing a lot of writing.
Yeah.
We've premiered a couple of songs on our YouTube channel.
Nice.
But we're hoping to, throughout kind of the first half of this year, get a lot of stuff recorded, and then hopefully around about Christmas time, we'll have a full album out.
That would be really good, and obviously I hope everyone, keeps an eye out for that. COVID has made things difficult and put things on pause. So you've done live performances in the past. You hope to do some in the future?
Yes. So we've done a couple of performances in local pubs and stuff, and hopefully over the next few months we'll be able to kind of do some more pub performances and maybe some bigger venues.
Nice. That would be really good. In terms of genre, obviously grunge and rock, do you see yourself doing any other genres and including that in your music?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind experimenting, to be honest with you. Maybe doing a bit of funk kind of music would be a bit of fun.
That would be really nice to see, obviously your band coming together and creating a funk album or something, who knows. You don't actually have any music videos, do you hope to bring any out?
Yes, so we'd like to kind of get some out to promote the singles for the new album. I think that would be really nice.
That would be really good, and hopefully in the future you can come on the show and promote that. It will be really nice to see. Do you have any other upcoming projects?
So I also like to make films in my spare time, and I have a short upcoming film.
Nice.
It's kind of sci-fi film in the works. I won't give too many details away now, but that is upcoming in the future.
Great. I hope everyone gets to check that out. It'll be really nice. But it's been great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, I'm Jack Franks, and join us again next week where we'll have a whole new line of guests here to talk to you at To Be Frank. A breakout star, Jessica Rule, and a secret boy band will be here to perform. See you next time on To Be Frank.
Fly me to the